Hello,
Hello.
Tami here, co-founder, co-creator of Rise Gatherings. Delighted to be sharing a conversation with Romy. For anyone who doesn't know Romy, she is known as the Energy Queen. We will find out why in a moment. Romy leads experiences for people all over the world on her retreats, in corporate settings, and lucky for Rise Gatherings at our upcoming Rise Day on May 19th, as well as the weekend getaway this fall. Romy, you'll find out, is on a mission, I would say, to help all human beings enhance their vitality, their energy, so they can become more of who they are. And she does that using both ancient as well as modern tools that we can all understand. And if you stay tuned to the end, I've asked Romy to actually lead us in something to bring a little more energy into our day and to enhance our vitality. So, Romy, hi, thanks for being here. Thanks for being you.
Hi, Tammy. It's always so good to be with you. Thank you for having me.
And you've been coming to the weekend getaway for several years. Our weekend getaway retreaters love coming to your workshops and your guided experiences in the forest. And we're thrilled that you will be at our upcoming event on May 19th in Philly. And you'll be doing a workshop on enhancing and reclaiming our vitality. So I have three questions for you today. Stay tuned for everybody. The third one is going to be her giving us something right here. But the first question is, I'm always curious about people's why. What is it that makes you passionate about this topic of embracing and reclaiming our vitality, our energy, our vibrancy, whatever you want to call it, different words. But tell us why you, Romy, are so charged to do that.
Oh, such a great question, Tammy. And I love that when you introduced me, you said, I'm on a mission. And I am on a mission to help everybody, whether it's a private customer or everyone in the world, to really find ways to have constant access to their energy and their vitality so that they can do their work in the world. I believe that each of us has a special work to do, whether we are, leading some huge corporation, or whether we're leading our families, whether we have children or not, whatever that we're doing, we are a leader. And we want to show up in a certain way so that we can do that work. Because when we do that work, there's somebody that needs to hear it. There's somebody that needs to receive it. And so whatever that work is, whether it's being a mom, whether it's being a street cleaner, like Martin Luther King said, we want to be able to do that and do it well so that each of us gets to accomplish our mission in the world. And mine is to help people figure out how to really access their physical, their mental, their spiritual and emotional energy and their vitality so that they can do that work and do it in the very best way that they can.
That makes a lot of sense to me because I feel like you are someone who is living that. You are living what you uniquely have been tasked to do, whatever you believe, whatever spiritual terms you think of being tasked with something. I find it very moving when you see people who are doing what they are uniquely able to do. Mm-hmm. And if I were to say I have a mission, it's to help people discover and do that, just that. Because we can't do it all. Especially when we think about some of the larger lifts, the larger challenges facing mm-hmm. us, mm-hmm. and it can be overwhelming. And then to think about, well, what's my part? And how can I unlock and unleash more of that so that I can do it?
Yeah. Yeah. And, as you were saying that, Tammy, I was thinking that our goal or our mission, or talent or gift, sometimes it changes, like during a particular time in our life, it might be this. And then in the next 10 or 7 years, it might be that. And so we have to sort of think about what kind of energy we're bringing to it moment by moment as it shifts, and I just thought about that. It's like, like my mission 10 years ago is kind of different than it is now, or it's expanded. It's still very similar. Like my gift in the world is having a great energy that I was given by God. And I've also found ways to manage it and access it. And that has changed. Who receives it has changed. And where its
Same.
focus has changed. And so having that emotional and mental awareness helps you to figure that out as well.
Same. Offline, I would love to hear the longer version of what that story is for you, because you're making me think of it for myself too. Who I served, how I served them in my personal life and my professional life, and how that's changed.
Yeah.
Okay.
More to come.
Yes. So being that this is what you have been doing for the past several years in different settings, I'm curious, what do you see as a common thread, in particular for women, on this topic of vitality, of energy?
Yeah, there are several, but the one that I think is super common, especially with women, is finding ways to prioritize themselves. This is a huge challenge for us in all different times of our lives. Right now I'm a grandmother, and which is a beautiful privilege. And I get to be in my son's life and the life of his daughter, and finding ways to prioritize myself, especially when I'm present with them, because like I just want to get up and start holding that baby all day long. And then I've forgotten to do my own breath work and to do my, my movement. And then I'm tired. So finding ways to really prioritize myself, again, physically, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually, so that I can be fully present, is a challenge for moms, for career people, for whoever we are, women in general. Really prioritizing our own self-care, our boundaries, and how much we do for others is, I think, the greatest challenge.
Agreed.
Yeah. Yeah. And with that, I would like to go ahead. Go ahead.
Just agreed. Like, I just agree. I agree personally. I used to have this little magnet that said, take yourself off the back burner. I had that when I was like in my 20s. So like, this is something that I had an awareness of, but it's a lifelong practice. And I'm agreeing because I see it so often in people that I meet and that come to our retreats.
Yeah. And whenever I give a problem, I like to offer sort of like a hint of a solution.
Yes, please.
And I think for women, many of us, we know what to do. We really do know what to do, but it's the secret is in finding ways to make small changes, and thinking about this and that. I can do this and that, right? So how do we, what is the science of habit evolution, of changing our habits, of prioritizing our time and making small changes so that we can prioritize ourselves and others? We can have excellent self-care and take really great care of others. So that's really that science of how to change our habits and how to make them so small that it's doable and becomes a permanent part of who we are, so that it's automated within us and we can't lose it, right? So that we can always be present in a particular way.
I love that. I know that's something that you have expertise on, and that you have these nuggets of wisdom that women are in our community tell me that they still tell themselves around the small habits, that it doesn't have to be, I'm going to start a meditation practice and it's going to be a day, or I'm going to go on this big thing. Those are daunting, but the little things, even if it's a little reminder in the way you approach the day to day. I'm thinking of my Romyisms in my head, but people can come and learn them from you at your workshop. The above the line and below the line.
Yes.
Those things really are great hooks, because life just keeps coming at us.
It does.
With new challenges. Yeah.
And I think, making me think of that, like many of us, especially women, we're so strong, but we think that if we have the willpower, we'll be able to do it. But willpower is not everything that we need to change habits. It actually doesn't work that way. Because eventually you lose that willpower. You get tired, it's like you're fighting. At some point you got to stop, right? And so it's not willpower, it's really science of how to do it. And that's what I love to teach people.
Brilliant. I love that. Okay, Romy, for anyone who is here today and for me, because I am here with you, can you give us something right now that we could do to recharge ourselves and tap into our vitality?
Yeah. So a really good example is that, we sit around all day. And many of us, we have the habit of getting up and getting our exercise done first thing in the morning or making some point to do it. But as we sit around, especially on these screens, which is such a wonderful way to for us to be together, we spend a lot of time sitting. So we tend to lose that physical energy, and that mental energy all at once. And so one way to do that is to add like just some short movement. So I'm going to invite you, Tami, if you can, to stand up. And we're going to add some movement and breath together. And this is something that you can do in just a couple of minutes, or you can make it long or you can make it short. So we're going to stand and we're going to do a breath work while we stand. So it's going to look like this. We're going to inhale, arms up, inhale again, arms out, inhale, arms up, and then exhale down. So it's like this. Inhale, 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 exhale. Inhale, 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 exhale. Arms up, arms out, arms up, exhale. In through the nose, in through the nose, in through the nose, out of the mouth. Let's do 6 more. Last one. And then inhale, inhale, inhale. Reach the arms up and hold them up. Take your feet wide. Take up a lot of space. And then exhale, release your hands and just swing your arms side to side. Make some sounds. Let out some noise if you like. Yeah. Twisting, letting your heel come up, turn and look back. Let's do one more on each side. Good. And then inhale, reach your arms way up above your head. And then exhale, bring your hands to your heart. You can remain standing or seated. Just take a moment here with hand at your heart or maybe a hand at your belly and breathe directly into both hands. You can close your eyes. Just allow yourself to be here right now. Just breathe into both hands and notice your body sensation. Maybe your heart is beating and you feel more energized, or you have a little heat into your body. Notice your feeling and emotions. And you notice any thoughts that are here for you right now. Take one more deep breath. Open the mouth to let it out. And then let's come back together.
Thank you, Romy.
I think the simple movement and breath work is just a great way to shift our energy. So when we find that our energy is going down, or focus is going down, just stand up and move and breathe. And notice if you feel more energized, more focused, more grounded, more calm. How do you feel?
I feel all those things. I'm going to remember that one. I don't know if you thought about this, because this was making a plus sign.
Oh, I love that.
I'm going to remember this because it's recharging.
Yes. And it opens the heart.
Oh, yeah. I mean, physically it's doing all those things, but just as the hook to remember,
Yeah.
because that shifted my energy. I feel
Beautiful.
more
Energy
awake and
up.
alive.
Love it.
Energy.
Aw.
Thank you, Romy,
Thank you
for
so much.
being here, for being you. I look forward to more. And thank you, everyone, for joining us today.
Yeah. See you at Rise Day.